The Ghana Grid Company Limited says electricity consumers will have to bear with the current erratic nature of electricity supply as it forms part of efforts to improve the system. There have been numerous complaints by consumers of unannounced power outages they say leave them highly distressed. Some of them have been speaking with Joy News.
The doomsaw, as we all know, we can say is back because we have been experiencing from time to time light out, and this one is very sad upon all what we passed through, and all the promises the government also said that they fix the doomsaw problem, but up to now the thing keeps on recurring, and for some of us we go out, we come back hoping there's light. We have so many appliances. At times we also work at night at home. So we find it very bad.
It's really affecting me so much because what I do, I use light. Even sometimes Sunday church service, light off. Coming Saturday, I have serious wedding. So they shouldn't do any light off. They told us that everything is okay. Now we don't know whether it is load shedding or whatever. We don't know. You see, the politicians in Ghana, they are not helping us. They are not telling us the truth. Because always there's a problem. Always they say we have solved the problem. Then 1 year, 2 years, another problem comes again.
And currently it's really affecting us because when you look at the shop, we are running a computer shop and we deal with light. And everything is about light. When you don't have lights, the business is not going. So the sales is a bit down. And we are just pleading for them to fix it as soon as possible to help us build our business too.
Yeah, it is affecting our work, especially we work at the health service, and now we deal with a lot of things. And our machines also are being improved by using this electricity. And if you see, if the electricity is becoming shortage like that and then giving us small, like piece something, it doesn't help. Actually, sometimes you put someone on the machine and then as it started working, the light out. You see, it caused a lot of problem for us.
Communications Manager for Gridco, Ebenezer Amankwa, explains the blackouts being experienced in parts of the country have to do with upgrades to the distribution infrastructure and maintenance works.
These projects are spread across the country. In Accra, for example, you have the Pokwasi substation construction, you have the Kaswa box supply point construction, you have a stringing of the Achimota Volta transmission line. And so when you look across the value chain, there are key projects ongoing just to boost transmission accessibility, reliability, and also distribution. And these are projects that have required some outages to be conducted. The contractors are asking for some outages at some particular phases. And so these are the areas where we are looking at a discussion with the key stakeholders like ECG and NETCO, so we can arrive at some appreciable timetable to communicate where there's a need for outages to happen.
Amidst all of this, though, the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission says it has begun the process to review tariffs. We'll be speaking with them shortly, but the Executive Director for the Africa Center for Energy Policy, Ben Boakye, says consumers will have to brace for a significant increase in tariffs. He spoke on PM Express.
Right. We allowed the problem to grow and fester, and you're being called upon to come and pay. And because we do not see an end in sight, and because we don't see the solutions coming, you're going to be called upon to pay.
So you expect utility prices to go up? I mean, electricity prices?
No, but there is no debate about that. This is a major tariff review year.
Okay.
So PURC, and I can imagine the difficult situation they may be in at this point, where the grid is not stable, and yet you have to review the tariff. So it's going to be a very tough decision for PURC to take.
What you say scares me. I mean, in back of all the budget taxes increasing, that
no, this year is a measure.
It's a guarantee that we are going to see
that tariff will go up significantly.
Well, joining us on Zoom now is Bawa Munkaila. He's with the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission. He's the Communications Director. Thank you very much for your time. Now, I first want you to explain to us what the PURC understands to be the reasons why the electricity supply situation has become that erratic for many consumers.
Thank you very much, and good evening to your cherished viewers across the country. The recent power outage, actually, we even issued a statement to that effect a few weeks ago from the commission saying that we were investigating the matter. Yes, we wrote to the utility providers, say Gridco for that matter, and they replied to us. However, we need to further investigate into the matter. So we have set up a panel through our formal hearing processing system, and the panel is looking at it and will surely come up with the results at the end of the day.
Mr. Munkaila, you mentioned Gridco, and Gridco has been quite forthcoming in recent times, telling us what the challenges have been. But there's also the Electricity Company of Ghana, which we interface, or most consumers interface directly with. What are they telling you are their challenges?
With ECG, currently the outages or the erratic power supply that we are facing is a transmission issue. And most of the cases, they are upgrading some of their systems and they are working on maybe the maintenance or whatever of their major transformers. So when it happens like that, they need to put out some areas for them to get the chance to do the various works and all that. However, the position of PURC is that before an outage or before a consumer suffered any outage, they need to inform the consumer. So that is what we are pushing the utilities to always do. And that has even prompted the issue of Gridco coming out with press releases, informing consumers about the challenges they are facing and all that.
Just to get you correctly, you're saying that the issues we're having have all to do with Gridco. So ECG doesn't have a role to play in all of that.
You know, the power value chain is generation, transmission, and distribution. The distributor gets power to serve you and I in our premises if only the transmitter is able to carry the power from the generation point.
All right.
So if the transmitter has an issue with the transmission system, definitely there wouldn't be a power delivery at the distribution end. So in some cases, it could be an ECG problem. But in recent times, there are maintenances that are being carried out by the transmission company, which is great. And PURC has been on them, and that is why they have even issued statements upon statements to explain to consumers that these are the issues they are facing, and they would come up with whatever.
All right, so the Gridco is telling us that we'd have to bear with them for a while longer. How much longer do you think it is going to take before Gridco resolves whatever challenges there are?
With the maintenance schedule, it comes as and when there is the need for a particular major substation needs to be worked on. So there's no like a time period. It's just unfortunate that in recent time, it has come on a series of them. But they don't have a specific period that they need to it's not like a plan, something that they have at a period that they'll be able to announce.
No, when you say it's not a plan thing, they themselves have come out to say that we're having some maintenance works. So clearly, before you go into the maintenance works or the upgrades they're talking about, they know that it is going to happen. And I'd expect that the PURC would work with them and by now come out with some schedule that the consumers can rely on.
Yes, thank you. The maintenance period, as you are talking about, with the recent one, just like when we issued a statement about a few weeks ago, they announced to us that they were facing problems in some of their major transmission lines, and it affected transmission of power, and that triggered back to generation, and it affected. So that one, there was a specific time period. Now, there are a series of maintenance processes they are doing. So with the recent one, they've given for like a month or two that they'll be doing, but it's not like a one particular major station that they are maintaining. It is a series of them. So when they finish, just like last week or 2 weeks ago, they did one at Sogakope, and then Volta region had a series of power outages as a result of that.
Exactly.
And they announced to customers. And
exactly. So with the Volta region incident, there was a schedule, and people could rely on the schedule. So why don't we have similar schedules for all other areas that they're anticipating to, embark on some maintenance works, or there being the need for them to take out the power?
Currently, the PURC is on them for the explanation of even the reason why that customer needs to even suffer the outages for the maintenance processes. So they are answering to the commission, and when they finish answering to the commission would analyze the various answers that they've given, and will come out with, if there's the need for any regulatory action to be taken, then we'll come out with that, and we'll let the general public know.
How long is it going to take for PRC to finish whatever investigations they are conducting with Greco?
Like I told you, the commission has set up a panel through our former hearing processes, and the panel is sitting, but you know, COVID doesn't allow physical meeting, just like this interview we are doing is through virtual, and most of these sittings we need physical contact and even visits to some of the substations to verify things by the panel. So we are in the process, and hoping by a week or two the commission should be able to finalize the process and come up with the findings.
All right, thank you very much, Bawa Munkaila. He's the Communications Director at the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission. But are consumers prepared to pay more? All right, that's actually a question that had intended to put to Mr. Munkaila. Mr. Munkaila, if Mr. Munkaila is still on, Mr. Munkaila, I know that the PRC has indicated that there would have to be that, or started the processes for a tariff review. At what point are you, and how long do you think it's going to take you before you can tell us how much more we have to pay?
Yes, 2021 is a major tariff year, and we've started the process of reviewing the tariff. But currently, as we speak, we are just at the initial stages. That is the pre-filing consultation stages. And the pre-filing, we discuss the tariff template with the utility providers, and we are now taking their inputs to give them the final template for them to submit their proposals. And that is the stage we are as we speak.
And how long is it going to take?
No utility has submitted a proposal yet.
All right. So how long do you think it's going to take before we get to know how much more we have to pay?
As to the period that it will take, unless the commission gets a board, you know, currently because of the transition processes of governance, we currently don't have a board. Right. So the initial prelim processes that we have started is what the secretariat can do. But as to the decision, the final decision, it is the board that would come and decide on that. So as of now, I can't tell you the time periods when the final decision will be taken by the board.
All right, thank you very much, Bawa Munkaila. He's a Communications Director at the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission. But are consumers prepared to pay more if that will bring an improvement to the supply situation? We'll put the question to a section of the public.
The light is not coming, and you are going to increase it. Why? You see, they are taking us for a ride. I don't know. I'm not ready. If you are getting frequent lights, that one, when you are paying it, it's okay. But if the light is coming on and off, when you are paying, you feel it. So I'm not ready for, to pay increment. I'm not ready.
I'm not sure that the average Ghanaians will be ready to really afford this burden, because right now the system is more hard, and I'm not sure that, and according to me, if I can also add my voice, we are not ready to add up something or to bear more burden either from the government or what have you. No.
The country that we live now, when was the last time they reduced things? It always goes up. You understand me? So we jump from 1 to 2, from 2 to 3. So we shouldn't expect any reduction, but an increment.
Paying this current bill is even a challenge, and they want to increase it. I can't pay.
We are not ready to pay any how do you call it? Any charge from that electricity. And now one problem is that if there should be light out, as they do it outside, they have to do it. They have to purchase something to it, like notice.